Yeah, that's right. I got an Alarmo, and the price up here in Canada is a little exorbitant, to say the least. You know, I should probably calm down a bit and talk a little bit more calmly for this video since it's based around sleep. The box came a few days ago, and I ordered a couple other things too. One of them for free, like this canvas Splatoon bag. Got that with platinum points, and here's what we're all waiting for. I also got this Mario blanket. Also, I apologize for the quality of the video. I don't have a ton of great equipment or experience doing something like this, but I am learning a lot as I go, so thanks for sticking around.
Who wouldn't want Mario screaming at you in the morning?
And I also thought I'd try my hand at doing a little bit of an unboxing to show you guys what I saw when I opened it up.
That's right. I'm a lefty.
I never really know what to expect with a product like this, but that's what'll happen if you go against Nintendo and emulate games. You're going straight to a prison cell. And they always seem to wrap it up pretty effectively. It doesn't ever seem cheap when I'm opening up Nintendo's packages. The USB is unmarked though. I don't see any Nintendo logos or anything, and it does feel thinner than I'm used to, which is interesting for a Nintendo product. I have no idea what I'm doing with lighting, so the lighting was so bad I couldn't even see it was at the bottom of the box. I had to check with my hand. The box is pretty nice though. Either a twin or a king-size bed. That's interesting. I'm sure you can try it with any bed though and see if it works. Noticing that it needs to be within 8 inches of the surface of your bed. So I'll have to make sure of that later. 35 different themes. Here it is, the Red Menace. Interesting, okay, the screen is a square or a rectangle. Couple of buttons, and the big white thing's a button too. Okay, the logo on the back, yep. And showing you where the USB-C goes. This design is so funny. It's not something that would go well with any room design, I think. You kind of have to design the room based around this red clock that's sure to stand out. Now, I haven't seen any other YouTubes unbox this thing, but I'm sure everybody did exactly what I'm doing right here. This just seems very normal and natural to do to the clock when you get it. I will say the materials do feel excellent, and it has a nice weight to it. Now, I've propped the clock up on a Nintendo 3DS, and I have to also make sure that the height is absolutely perfect within that 8-inch requirement. And here is my own 8-bit do USB-C plug. Shout out to 8-bit do for having great controllers. This cable was long enough. The one that came with it was not, but I wanted to show you what it's like when it first boots up. Of course, I forgot what time it was. It's a perfect time to be setting up this clock and going to bed, as you can see. And classic Mario tunes. Gotta take a little dance break. Now, it hasn't even bought me dinner, but it's telling me to try lying in bed. So, I'm pretty submissive. I will just oblige immediately without questioning anything and get into bed here. And apparently, it's asking me to check its distance from the bed itself. The 8-inch height isn't enough. It wants to know how far away it is from the edge of your bed. And finally, for the first time, we get to experience the alarm setting on the Alarmo. They throw us into an encounter with the Chain Chomp in Fossil Falls and Mario Odyssey. You can see me doing my best here to activate the sensor. And they even give you a little victory jingle when you get out of bed. And afterwards, in typical Nintendo fashion, they explain everything to you as simply as they can. There's a bunch of characters that'll be coming during your alarms to try to wake you up, and as you ignore them, they will keep coming back and trying to get you up, and will get more intense and insane if you blow over the time limit. So here are a few of the scenes. You can meet up with Princess Peach, the Great Fairy Fountain. That sounds kind of sus. It's always a little freaky over at the Fairy Fountain. There's some Splatoon ones, like Salmon Run. Like, I'm a huge fan of Splatoon, but Salmon Run is always crazy and stress-filled. I guess that would be good for waking up. I don't know. And as stated, there's 35 scenes out of the box. But I thought it'd be funny to show you the 3 most cursed alarms on this thing out of the box, so we're going to lock in with the Great Fairy Fountain. So steady mode is the standard. They give you 20 minutes to get out of bed before things get really crazy. And there's a couple other modes as well. And if you remember what the time was from earlier, 8 a.m. sounds like a great time to wake up. They also explained you'll get notifications, and there's this little letter button for that. Seeing as I should have been asleep 4 hours ago, let's get into bed. So even though I don't have the best equipment for making live video, I can still get inventive, and I found an app, and it lets you record a video of a certain length, let's say 15 minutes, and it'll continuously record a video that's 15 minutes long, and when you tell it to stop, it'll give you the final 15 minutes. So I set that up so that I would have a video of myself in the morning when I wake up. So the first morning that I did this, unfortunately, my setup was bad and the audio was terrible, but the light on the Alarmo comes on and it starts to play music very quietly based around the theme, and in this instance it was the fairy fountain. And you can hear the Great Fairy trying to wake me up with noises that she makes. As you can hear, she has a great variety of sounds she can make over top of that nice fairy fountain music. And it turns out it's not the most unsettling thing to wake up to. But I'm moving around here, and it follows a pattern of notes, which is actually do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And when you successfully do those 8 notes, then the alarm will quiet back down. And then it'll be another 5 minutes until the alarm starts to turn up in volume again. It'll start making more sounds. And then I'll have another chance to wake up a bit more by wiggling around in bed. Up and at 'em. Gotta get that serotonin from the Zelda victory jingle. For the drowning Pikmin alarm, I tried a new recording angle, and I'm gonna turn it up for the very beginning so you can hear it. Sorry this angle wasn't the best for recording, but it starts with that barely audible trumpet sound at the beginning of a day, and the Pikmin are already drowning. I'm immediately confused at what's going on. If anybody else hates when your Pikmin drown, this is a mortifying alarm to hear in the morning. So I ended up moving around enough to quiet the alarm down, but that made me think, what if I just laid there and listened to what happened? Would they actually fully drown and die? So I'll skip ahead to where I was trying this, and you can listen for yourself. I thought this was terrible. You can just lay there in bed, and your Pikmin will struggle for quite a while, and then eventually drown. Nintendo was insane for adding this to Alarmo, but you know that they had to do it. Losing more Pikmin while I'm laying in bed does not help me have a slow and nice and easy wake up. And for the third curse alarm, Salmon Run. This actually kind of shocked me awake. Like, was I dreaming for a second that I was in Salmon Run? To be honest, I love the game mode Salmon Run. I love playing co-op, player versus enemy with my friends, and I find that the gameplay is really, really well made. But the theming is just so high anxiety. And what's especially cursed about this scene is that you can clearly hear the stinger, the tower salmonid boss with the laser beam stacked on all the pots, and the fly fish, the little orb guy flying with 2 racks of missiles that he shoots at you. Those are the number 1 and number 2 most problematic bosses that will kill you every time if you're not an amazing player at Salmon Run. So this will fill you with dread if you know Salmon Run well. And when you're rolling around in bed, it's like you're shooting at a boss salmonid and you actually take it down. The fanfare at the end as well is the same fanfare that plays when you successfully complete a mission, which barely any Salmon Run players have heard before. Or not the ones I play with online anyway. And after my first night with it, I got a notification for Sleepy Sounds, which is a feature that will play after you set your bedtime on the clock. And it says that it'll play for about 10 minutes after you get in bed to help you calm down and get into a restful mood. I also got a kick out of this semi-threatening message saying that if I didn't move, the alarm would start up again, and it had a little loading bar for when that would happen. Any of these situations with the alarms, though, can be easily circumvented. All you have to do is push that main button on the top of the Alarmo and then tell it to turn the alarm off. While I'm happy to see that that feature's there, it really seems like a mandatory feature, actually. It gives somebody like myself the opportunity to turn the alarm off and then fall back asleep and just ruin their day. Thanks, Nintendo! There's also an hourly chime that you can set up, so on every hour, it will make a noise depending on the theme. So I have the Pikmin theme right now, and it will pluck an amount of Pikmin that equals the hour it is. Alarmo will also keep track of your sleep records and your wake up time records. The records of how long you were asleep and also how long it took for you to get up every time your alarm went off. Now, the record will only be kept for up to a year. And I'm wondering if they'll update it so that you can move that data somewhere else so you can preserve it. Speaking of updating, I wanted to get my Alarmo connected to the internet, so they basically throw a QR code at you right away to look over their privacy policy. And then it'll ask you to search for network devices, and once you've selected yours, it'll get you to input the password with the single knob on top of the Alarmo. So I'll speed that up for you, and then you confirm with the notification button. I also had a bunch of notifications at this point, so I looked at the one that said empty bed at alarm time. And it said the alarm will not activate if no one is within the sensor zone at the set alarm time. And I was actually thinking about that. I was actually a little bit worried about that, and if you manage to get out of bed before the alarm, it's not going to bother you later. I thought that was so nice. Then I thought it was time to try the download new alarms button, and that basically tells you that you need a Nintendo account to connect to the Alarmo so that it will allow you to download new alarms. And I thought that was a little bit strange. I do not understand why that's necessary, but it was easy enough for me. They just give you a QR code that takes you to the site, and I'm already signed in, so I just had to tap on select this account. And once that was done, I told it to check for updates, and then it downloaded a bunch of stuff and checked again, and then told me that it was updated to version 2.0.0. And here's a screenshot of the patch notes from Nintendo's website, and the one I thought was interesting, it said that the distance from bed can now be set to 20 inches for king and queen size beds, and before we saw it said twin and king, so I guess bed size doesn't really matter as much as I thought. And at first, I thought the Alarmo was going to end up just being a joke of a product, but it actually turned out to be something that I quite enjoy and I think is useful. I also think that the price is definitely a joke. 130 Canadian dollars is insane. I think what I get here is about a $50 product for the value of the physical item itself and then the software that you're getting. I have no idea how they think $130 was okay for this product. I cannot recommend anyone buy this based on that alone, but for what the product does, I find it's very enjoyable and impressive, and I'm looking forward to living with this product. My YouTube channel inspired me to spend that ridiculous amount of money to get it. I would never ever have bought it otherwise. I would just let it pass me by. But I'm glad I can show you guys what it's all about, and I hope you stick with me. We've recently hit 100 subscribers, and I would love to make a simple video celebrating that. That will probably be the next video that goes up on the channel, so I'll see you then. Bye!
Oh?